It's through my body and it's because of my body that I'm able to experience life. So if this weapon to experience life is sharp, how much more am I going to experience? How much more am I going to get out of life, out of this experience of life? Because if this weapon is dull, if I'm fat, if I'm filled with diseases, if I'm lazy, if I have no energy, if I don't like what I see, if my wife doesn't like what she sees, if I'm too tired and too fat to play with my children, if I cannot even go up the stairs without taking a break because I'm short out of breath, if I'm embarrassed to take my shirt off, if this weapon is dull, then how am I experiencing life?
Brother, welcome to another episode of the Elite Game podcast with your host, Mauricio Rocha. And what do I want to talk about today? Very simply, your body. My body. The body as a weapon that was given to you, to me, by our Father in heaven. And what are you doing with that gift? With that weapon? Why do I call it a weapon? Here's why. It took me 46 years to understand this, to learn this. My body is as big as a weapon as anything else that I have at my disposal around me in this earth in order for me to accomplish my mission, to get what I want, to take care of my family, to provide for my family, and to achieve all the things that I want to achieve. It's because of my body that I'm able to get up in the morning, brush my teeth, go to work, go work out, do business, love my wife, play with my kids, etc., etc. It's through my body and it's because of my body that I'm able to experience life. So if this weapon to experience life is sharp, how much more am I going to experience? How much more am I going to get out of life, out of this experience of life? Because if this weapon is dull, if I'm fat, if I'm filled with diseases, if I'm lazy, if I have no energy, if I don't like what I see, if my wife doesn't like what she sees, if I'm too tired and too fat to play with my children, if I cannot even go up the stairs without taking a break because I'm short out of breath, if I'm embarrassed to take my shirt off, if this weapon is dull, then how am I experiencing life? Probably in a very limited way, aren't I? Think about this. You have this opportunity to get physically close to your wife, to make love to your wife every day. And this opportunity to feel, to experience love that God gave a man and a woman, this physical interaction, this physical connection, this physical act, this can be experienced in a very radical different way from a man that is overweight or for a man that is fit. Catch my drift? A man that is overweight, that is fat as hell, how much is he going to able to enjoy making love to his wife? And vice versa, right? How much is she going to enjoy making love to you? If you're fit, if you have abs showing, if you're strong, if you're able to go do this, do that, go on and on and on, hold that plank for more than 10 seconds, how much more are you going to experience that physical act? How much more is your wife going to enjoy experiencing that with you? That's just one example of how a body can be a weapon to experience life in a total different level. Let's talk about your son is playing basketball and he says, Dad, come play with me. And here you go. And you have to stop after 5 minutes because you have to catch your breath. You can't go any further. Or you're playing soccer. And you say, you know what, son, I'm good. Why don't you go play with your friend? I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that some other day, not today. Because you're embarrassed, because you know that you cannot run. And if you run, you only run for about 30 seconds until you're out of breath. Like, what are you missing out on with your son in the experiences that life is offering you with your son at that moment, and the opportunities of connection that life is giving you in that moment for you to play soccer with your son? How much more of that are you losing out on? Because you're out of shape, because you're fat, because you're weak. That's just another example. And you can go throughout life and give yourself thousands of examples in business. Like, there is a power, like, hidden inside your body, waiting for you to dig it up. I like to say that God gave you a wonderful gift. God gave you this marvelous gift that is your body. And He gave it to you all wrapped up. Just like at Christmas time. When you wrap up all the gifts and you put it under the Christmas tree and you give it to your kids. And then all they have to do is unwrap the gift to receive the gift. That is what God is doing when He gave you your body. He gave you your body, He wrapped it up, and He gave it to you. And what do? You don't even unwrap it. You start using it. If you would take the time to unwrap this beautiful gift, if you would take the time to train, to eat right, to remove and stop giving your body all this garbage that your body cannot process. If you would push yourself physically to discover what you can do, what your body can do, that is the unwrapping of this gift that God gave you. But you have to do it. I have to do it. He already gave you this gift. All you got to do is unwrap it. You don't need to make your body. You already have it. So what do you do with it? Some men don't do anything. Some men just make it even worse. After my 114-kilometer walk that I did 2 weeks ago, I did that because I wanted to fulfill a promise that I made to God. And this walk that I did back in Portugal to Fatima was more of a spiritual and physical thing than anything else. And I made that promise because I know if I would just simply make a goal of walking 114 kilometers, I probably wouldn't have done it because it's way beyond my comfort zone, way beyond. But because I made the promise, because I made that promise to God, then that put me in the container where I was pressured, and that's why I wanted to do that. That's why I did it like that. Created pressure in order for me to actually execute on this, accomplish this, and I did. And it was one of the most difficult physical activities I have ever done. But what I discovered at the end of it is that sacrifice that I wanted to offer to God, He always gives you something back. And what He gave back to me was this: your body is a weapon. But in order for you to use that weapon, you have to keep digging at it. You have to keep forcing it. You have to keep pushing it. You have to keep putting your body in situations where your mind says, nah, you probably can't do that. It's after you do that and after you get to the finish line that you discover a different level of power, a different level of confidence that spreads out into all other areas of your life. You as a husband, you get more powerful. You as a son, you get more powerful. You as a businessman, you get more powerful. Do you understand this? Your body is here as a weapon, as a trigger, as a catalyst for you to use so you can power up and you can use that extra power and spread it throughout your life. So what have I decided to do after I accomplished that? I decided to register for a marathon. I never ran a marathon. I never wanted to run a marathon. The reason that I registered for a marathon is because I thought to myself, okay, what is the one thing that I hate to do? Running. Great. Let's run a marathon. But this willingness to actually make that decision to register for the marathon came after I completed that 114-kilometer goal. So there is a progression of the level of difficulties of activities that you will be compelled to call upon yourself to do. That's the game. That's the elite game. The more I play this game of life in a way that is outside my comfort zone, the more power I feel, the more confident I feel, bro. It's an amazing feeling. It's really an amazing feeling. And I would invite you as a man to look at your body and ask yourself, is your body a weapon? Or is your body just a rock, just sitting there? When you look in the mirror, do you feel confidence? Do you like what you see? Does your wife like what she sees? How do you feel? Do you feel power? Do you feel energy? Do you feel strong, or do you feel weak and you feel depleted and deflated? Like, how are you using your body, bro? You're looking for power? Start running. Start working out. Start doing physical activities that you don't feel like doing. You will get the power that you're looking for. Guaranteed. Physiologically, it's impossible to feel depressed after you fucking run. Did you know that? Do 10 burpees. Tell me if you feel better emotionally or worse before you start doing the burpees. You're going to feel better. There is always another level of the shit, man. And why does it take some men so long in order to discover this? It took me 46 years. Some men never discover this. I hope it takes you not as long as me. But it took me 46 years to discover that my body can be a weapon where I can bring into the world and fight the battles that I need to fight and actually win them. And besides winning them, I'm actually destroying them. Like, the more I pay attention to my body, the more I work on my body, the more I look at the results in my body, like, the more superior emotionally I feel to other men. Not because I'm better than other men, but just the simple fact of knowing that you're not better than me. You're not. And knowing this, it puts me at a level of playing the game of life that few men play. Just knowing this. And I haven't even fucking started this physical journey, man. It's been like 3 months. So then I'm thinking, shit, like, how much power am I going to feel in 2 years? after I'm 220 pounds, lean, 10% body fat, after having run marathons and doing all this type of shit? How am I going to feel? I can't wait, bro. I'm asking you the same question. How are you treating your body? Are you treating your body like a weapon? Or are you just deflated, sitting in the couch with your head up, with your feet up in the air, eating your Cheetos and drinking your pop and your beers and whatever the fuck you're doing? Because that was me, man. That was me. That was me. I'm not going to be that guy anymore. Why? Because once you discover the level of power that it is in your body, after you start unwrapping it, then all of a sudden the decision is easy. Bag of Cheetos or go to the gym. The decision is easy, bro. It's not hard. Once you start this journey, then you cannot go back. You cannot go back. So I cannot wait until where this momentum carries me, bro. I cannot wait. And I want to share that with you. And I have been sharing that with men in my group, in my masterminds. They are doing the things that I'm doing and greater things that inspire me and inspire other people, other men. Ask yourself that question. How are you treating your body? Because to play an elite game, to have an elite life, you cannot have a piece of shit body. You can't. Because it is through your body that you experience life itself. So if your body is filled with diseases and fat and it's deflated, no energy, weak, then you're going to experience life in a total different manner than if your body is strong, lean, and if you have all the pride that you can possibly have by looking in a mirror, bro. Ask yourself that question and start playing the elite game now.